What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Sperax today, SPA. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. Shout out to Noodle. Noodle's the one who requested this. We're doing this for you, Noodle. Here we are at 1.9 cents now, 8 hours, 32 minutes left on this, the 5th day of May. I still do believe, yes, that we are in some kind of bullish configuration here. Is it a bull flag? I mean, it looks like a bull flag to me. I would think that it performs as a bull flag whenever we break out, but time will tell on that note. It does look, zooming in here, and we'll go over that perspective in a second, but zooming in here, looking at this on a 4 hour basis, it looks like what we have is a flat bottom with descending highs. We're grinding it out right now. I definitely think we're about to break out to the downside. So not financial advice, not a financial advisor. I do think we're breaking out to the downside. No, that does not mean that the bull flag is breaking out to the downside. I'm just meaning that the price relative to this will break out to the downside. The 4 hour RSI looks pretty sad, very neutral overall, but very sad right now. It looks like it's having a hard time getting any kind of positive reading. So you probably do go lower, right? Oftentimes, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but oftentimes when you see the oversold zone, that's when things really pick up the pace to the downside. So my expectation would be that in a very short amount of time, we do pick up the pace to the downside. We probably see a move that takes us down to our last areas of relative support or resistance, which seem to be in a very similar spot in themselves, right? From here, that would be at about 1.79 cents. From there, that would be about 1.66 cents. Maybe something in between, maybe something right at one of those areas. You never know, but we'll see how it goes. Let's look at this relative low to high here. What would that call for? 1.6226 cents. I could see that happening. 1.4 cents. I could even see that happening, right? I mean, if we take a line, we line this up from a low here, or from that price there to that price there. For looking at this, if I can delete this, there we go. Prior resistance, prior support, prior resistance there. A little bit of support there, prior support there. I mean, they're both significant levels. So something a little bit lower would make sense. Let's look at the daily time frame here. And at this rate, if we were to drop down there, would that get rid of the bull flag? I don't know. If we were to move down here, one could argue that we're still in a bull flag here, I suppose. If we move down lower, yeah, maybe we don't have a bull flag going on. And if this is a bull flag, if it isn't a bull flag, who cares? Whatever. It would be nice if it is a bull flag because it gives us a very, very keen sense of direction, very accurate sense of direction. But if we break out of it, who cares? We're still going to be on a path going higher. It doesn't matter if it's a bull flag or not. I very much do believe Sperax is on its way to seeing new highs relative to this here. If we're looking at this relative low to this relative high here, you found support at your 382, rejected your 236 time and time again. I got to be honest here, man. Generally speaking, if you find support at the 382 and you reject the 236, you go down to the golden ratio. Generally speaking, that's the expectation. So 1.4 to 1.3 cents is even a possibility. 1.43 to 1.33, something in that area. It is possible you could find support on the 0.5. I don't want to take away from that at all. It is very possible. You could find support at 1.6 cents, but being here at 1.9 cents now, the only thing that I'm certain of is that Sperax, and I'm not certain, I'm just guessing here, is that Sperax drops another 15 to potentially 25%, something in that kind of area there. That's what I'm expecting. So not financial advice, not a financial advisor. Is it a good time to sell? I mean, you're at the bottom of this range, maybe not. I don't know. 15% or more is a kind of tempting, area to sell for. But if we're looking at this for what it's worth, even if it goes to its worst possible case scenario, we see that kind of movement. The upside potential, which is going to take you above this high, it eclipses this. It's not even close. So I wouldn't get caught up trying to play the game here. Really what I would say is I'm not advocating anybody to sell. I would advocate that you just buy more down at these areas. Wait and buy. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. Do whatever you want. Sell when you want, buy when you want, do whatever you want. I don't care. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just telling you what I would do. What I'm genuinely considering right now. Very significant area though, right there in that kind of zone. I would expect, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but I've never heard of that's a double top there. That would be a triple top, quadruple, quintuple, sextuple. I've never heard of a septuple, sextuple top, right? That doesn't happen. You're going to, and this is clearly a long phase of accumulation. Clearly it is. You've been accumulating Sperax since September of 2022, really since June of 2022. You've been accumulating all this time. I think you're starting to show your hand here, right? Every time you get up to this area, anytime that you get up here, whether it's just above or just below, you reject. You reject. You reject. But here, when we reject, it's not quite the same as any of these, right? We're dancing around this line. We're disrespecting it now. Respect, disrespect. Different behavior, I think, begets different results. I don't believe that we're going to go to the low ends of this range. I think that we are in the process right now of breaking out, right? The breakout process of this overall range, it started back here on April 7th. It really did. So don't forget the path that you're on. It's higher. You have a momentary drop coming your way, but it's the path is higher. From a relative high to low, all-time high to all-time low, I suppose. Very significant fib there. Are you showing significance on it? Is that the right one? Let's see. What about maybe I should do this high to low? These are fake outs. Let's see. You are showing more significance there. If I'm being fair, let's take one more low and just see a little bit of significance there. I don't feel comfortable enough with this fib. I don't know where to draw it from. So maybe we'll use a different fib. Maybe we'll use a different one. Let's go from this high to this low here. Let's just see what that provides. A lot of respect. Yes, look at that. Rejected the golden ratio, found support at this golden ratio, finding support at the 382, clean as day, tipping the 786. It's a lot more respected. I like this. So just looking at this here, it's a bit more strange for me because I'm not so familiar with the processes of getting overbought coming out. It's not that I'm unfamiliar with that, but just you've done it a couple times now, right? So I don't know what this would call for. All I can assume that it would call for is if you go down to this area, you find support down in this area that we're talking about, right? And then you move up, you will likely see prices above the 1.1618. So the minimum target then that could be derived would be something of about 6.3 cents or higher. From the current price, that's about a 3x. I don't know about you guys, but I think that sounds too low. Just because I think it sounds too low doesn't mean that it is too low. Time will tell. But my expectation would be that you do go higher. You probably see prices at least at 11.5 cents, which is about a 6x move from here, almost higher. And likely with the 2272, you actually go above that. So let's turn that 6x into basically like a 7x move. 7x is my minimum expectation. That'd be something around like a 14-cent price or lower. If not there, 20 cents is looking good, and that's about a 10x from here. And you could go all the way up to the money zone at about 30 cents to 43 cents. We could see something on the lines of like a 15x to a 22x, 22.5x, something like that overall. So this is kind of the target area, right? Something just above 11.5 cents there to right there at about 43 cents. Something around, I would say, like 14 cents to 43 cents is the target area. So ultimately, Sperax, you have a lot higher to go. And that's a very big range, 14 to 43. I'm aware of that. It's a very big range, but and the reality is it's probably more appropriate to call for these deeper targets because we are dealing with a very shallow extension in relativity to this whole move here relative to this accumulation phase that you're about to break out of. I think it is actually more acceptable to consider 30 cents to 43 cents than anything else. But time will tell. We'll see how it goes. And that, again, would be about a 15x to about a 22x. That, ultimately, if I had to guess, that's where I think Sperax is going to go. If you were to stop anywhere else, I don't think that you stop at 14 cents. I would think that at a minimum you reach 20 cents. But time will tell. We'll see how it goes. I got nothing else for you guys. Hit the like button, subscribe. I'm not worried about the price at all. In fact, this just looking at it on a long-term basis like this is very encouraging. It very much does make me think that this whole past, like, what 3 years? Almost 3 years, was just accumulation. Whenever you let loose that pressure, you're going to fly. You're going to see something bigger as far as an upside move goes than anything you've seen over the last like 2.5 years. Okay. I got nothing else for you guys. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye.